Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront Updates, and so a very exciting live stream straight from Hollywood in LA. Today I'm joined by Dennis Brännvall, Design Director on Star Wars Battlefront II. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.
So I thought today I'm going to play the game, obviously, but we could go into some questions that hasn't really been answered so far, because now, talking about classes, vehicles, heroes, people know the most about that now. So there's a list of questions there in the chat that Dennis can look through over the stream, and if we pop up with the questions when I play, we can go over that as well. So I think I'm going to go for the heavy at the start, just to rack up those points, because I want to. Okay, the game just ended, but for the next game I'm going to go for heavy, just to get the hero, hopefully, and show that. But yeah, do you want to see? We can start off with something. Yeah, we can just go from the top, maybe. One question that after the last game, there was a lot of explosives in the game that could sometimes make it a bit spammy. What are you doing to prevent explosives from becoming too spammy in this game?
Right. So we agree that it did turn maybe a little too spammy at times, explosives. This time around, not all classes will have access to explosives. For example, the Assault is the only class right now that's carrying actual grenades around. So we feel like that will not like decrease the amount of explosives, but more importantly, make it more diverse, the kind of abilities that you encounter. So we'll keep an eye out for it. It's always going to be a little tricky when we go into some of these close quarters interiors and there's doors that people need to breach.
Yeah.
And so the natural instinct is to throw grenades at it. So that's always going to be a challenge, but that's just one of the things that we're doing to make sure that it's more diverse what you're going up against.
Yeah, I noticed that they don't do as much damage either, so usually when you throw in a thermal detonator and someone's nearby, they always die in the previous game. But right now, it's mostly if they're like the specialists with low health, they die, but if they're heavy, they can tank an aid, and probably the barrage as well.
Yeah.
So that was a good thing. Usually you could just get back behind cover and heal up, unless like multiple people throw in, of course.
Of course.
So yeah. Yeah, will special characters vary depending on the map? Like we could see the Wookiees on Kashyyyk on the trailer yesterday.
They will vary depending on the map in terms of, how many they are and how like expensive or cheap they are in terms of how many battle points you need to become one. They are era locked, similar to vehicles and just normal troopers, what they look like. So, you won't see. You saw my favorite, the Death Trooper in the trailer. That's only going to be part of the original trilogy, for example. But they will not be like only restricted to a single map or something like that.
That makes sense.
You feel like it's. We definitely want each era and planet to feel unique in terms of what you can see there, but we don't want to feel like people only want to play that one map because that has the one thing that they really enjoy playing.
Yeah, and on top of that, it must feel like putting a lot of development time into one character, and then it can be on 1% of the maps or 1%, like a very small. That must also be one reason. I'm actually not sure what's happening to the PlayStation right now. It's been stuck on 256 for a while now, so I'm just gonna try tabbing down and see if there's something wrong with the game, or if because it should be mid-capture session, meaning that the game should be up and running.
Should be players playing outside right now. It might be that they are swapping something on the server, right?
Yeah, we can just keep. I mean, people have seen the gameplay. This is nothing new. It's the same build that I captured and that we streamed yesterday. So we can just go over some questions with stuff that we haven't talked about. So yeah, while we were talking about the cross era for you mentioned for vehicles and stuff like that, I know there's been a big discussion about heroes and cross era. I'm assuming you maybe haven't taken a final decision, but what's your?
Yeah, that one is really tricky, and I fully get the controversy in the community on that topic. Like there's people in favor of it, there's people against it, and that makes perfect sense to me. And I think even internally within the dev team, we're right there with them. We have one foot in the realm of being Star Wars fans, being like super careful about being extremely authentic to how things look and how things behave. At the same time, we're also our other foot is in the realm of multiplayer gameplay and making sure that player has a lot of choices in how they want to tackle a problem in the game, and making sure that people have the choice to play their favorite thing as often as they can. So it's tricky. We don't want to end up in situations where people, like sort of what I alluded to with the elite troopers and special characters is that they we don't want people to feel like they only want to play specific maps because that's the only place where they can play their favorite thing. At the same time, we still want players to feel like this is a very authentic Star Wars game and brings them into the fantasy of being in the Star Wars battles and being in the movies, being in the TV shows and all that. So it's a tricky balance, and in the previous stream with Star Wars HQ, we talked about weapons as well. Since in the build there's a First Order heavy blaster that you can play as. So it's the same thing there. What if, since you can upgrade your weapons, you can add weapon attachment to them. You can really make them feel like this is your favorite blaster and it behaves exactly the way I want it to. And then we take it away when you go to a specific map. Like, how frustrating is that going to be? Our feeling is that it would be very frustrating. So it's tricky, Star Wars is a very special beast in terms of how do we combine these two things that sometimes not always play nicely, in that this desire to play my favorite thing versus, well, that thing doesn't belong here. So we'll see. I don't want to go out with like a specific announcement right there. We're going to figure out exactly the best way forward for this, and this is just it's great to finally put the game in front of like a lot of people and get their feedback, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, because I think it would change a lot depending on if you just see it in a trailer once and we actually play the game over and over.
Droidicas.
So what can you say about those?
I love droidicas. They are some of my favorite characters in the galaxy. It's always going to be like the best part and also the worst part of working on Star Wars is that we do not define the world that we're building. It's already defined for us, and it's been defined for 30, 40 years. So there's a lot of things that, some people will want, and some people will want something else, and some people will be really upset when they see our final hero and villain rosters, and some people will think this is spot on, but we do know there's always going to be more that we can add. So, it's tricky, and it's the worst part when certain things will not make it in for launch. However, everything post-launch will be free.
Yeah.
It's just if the community rallies around certain characters, certain planets, certain whatever they want, then we will try to bring it to them as quickly as we can, as much as we can, and that's just one of those things.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go out and say exactly what's going to be in for launch or not. Like, it's a little early still, but the Droidica in particular, we love it. It's tricky because it's a very unique thing with it can foot plant, and it also needs to roll up into a ball, and we'll see how much we can get, but I think the Battlefront II is very much a statement of intent for us. The game, since we started the journey of making Star Wars games with the original trilogy, that made sense to us. And so the game will still sort of feature quite a bit of original trilogy, but we're going sort of both forwards and backwards in time in terms of how much we're adding. And we're doing equal amount of stuff from the new era versus the old era. And so that's a statement of intent in that we don't play favorites. It's like we love all of Star Wars, and we will continue to do so. And then we'll just continue to add to it all the time. So it's important to view the game as sort of like one big game. If you start viewing it potentially as, I only want to have this thing from this era, then I think you'll end up sort of limiting yourself too much into the game will feel much smaller than it is then. So it's we really want players to embrace the entirety of the experience.
Yeah, I like the whole fact about that you're adding. Oh, it seems like the game is actually starting up at once, but that you're adding free content post launch, because then it's more like consistent. Oh well, the community wants this. Oh, let's add this, and it's just not okay. Here's the 4 things we will release over the year, and that's it.
No, exactly. It's not a season pass. It's not a set limit to how long we'll continue to support the game. Ideally, we'll continue to support the game as long as people are playing it. Like I said, it's all free. That's a big one for us. It's no longer just for a dedicated crowd of our most dedicated fans. For everyone, and it will continue to be updated on a very frequent basis. It's not going to be massive expansion packs the way that we used to do it. It'll be more like let's try to keep the game fresh. Almost like we really want to get better at what we're talking about, time to player, like in terms of like when they want stuff, how quickly we can get it in and how quickly we can get it out to them, as opposed to having to wait for this one big patch. That
that's a good system. So yeah, I'm gonna aim. What I'm gonna show you guys in the stream is Darth Maul, because he's awesome. So I'm gonna go with the heavy, because that's the one that's easiest to rack up points with. And Dennis, you're more than welcome to just take whatever you want from the chat or from that page and just talk about it. Because I think people want to hear you talk and not me, because you're the one with all the interesting details.
Sure. There's been some conversations about default in third person in particular. We are doing constant improvements to the third person camera. This is not the final one that we're seeing. We'll continue to iterate, make sure that it feels really good.
Are you going to have the field of view slider like in the previous game, BC?
Yeah.
And I think it's not available on consoles. Is that going to change for this game, or is it still only for PC?
I'll have to get back to you on that one. I don't know exact specifics on the function, but in terms of how the 3D camera looks, it's getting there. I think it's much better than it was, but there's always work you can continue to do to it. It's tricky, especially when we're one of the few games that actually support both first person and third person.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And that's it's for a good reason that people usually don't. So there's challenges, but there's also a lot of opportunities. And continuously.
Yeah, I remember I played Battlefield 1 quickly yesterday, and I tried to hold in C and switch to third person. I was like, oh wait, this is not Battlefront.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm not playing too well, I'm noticing now, but I'm getting points. That's what matters.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, you gotta get those points up quickly. Because if you didn't know, when you take damage with the heavy, you actually get points. So it's better just get in there, kill someone, die, and then rinse and repeat if you just want to rack up the points.
Sure.
But I know you said that you're gonna balance, obviously, the point system for later on. So it's not gonna be one class that's gonna be absolute best to get points with.
Of course. And in order to do so, we need to bring it in front of a lot of players and get data based on it, not just our own playtests. So this is an exciting time for the team, in that we're finally showing off something that's quite representative, and then we'll tweak based on that going forward. But we're very happy with the battle point system. It feels like it provides a lot of depth and options for players. It makes it so. We saw in Battlefront 1 that some people actually actively avoided playing as a starfighter or even as a hero every once in a while, because that was not really what they were after. But they were happy that they were happy to see them around or actually follow a hero around, but they didn't want to be the one that played as a hero. And so for this time around, we really wanted to embrace that. All players can become something. They can always become their favorite thing. So everyone's always working towards getting enough points to become the thing that they think will be really useful. At the same time, there's a lot of depth to the system and understanding. Like once you learn the map, which I'm sure you haven't really done yet, but you're getting there, is that you also understand what's the best thing to spend my battle points at this stage of the map. Whereas maybe the best way for you is to play as a vulture drone, maybe not, and then save it. And maybe for stage 3 you want to become something different. And so it's all about learning the map and learning how to manage your battle points for that specific map. Or you can just be, I only want to play my favorite hero because I've customized that hero and this is what I want to play as, and then that's fine. Just play it that way too. It's up to you.
Yeah, and one thing that I really liked about the battle point system is that you actually get battle points when you take reinforcements, but not when you take the hero, meaning that you can think, oh, will I get more than 2,000 points from a jump trooper? Well, maybe it's worth picking it then.
Yeah. So, question about phase 1 versus phase 2 clone troopers, and yes, those are planet specific.
They are
planet specific.
Oh, okay. So Camino would be phase 1, I guess.
Exactly.
Cool. I'm almost at the hero now, but there's 2 people in front of me, so we might steal it, but we'll see.
There's quite a few questions in regards to specific heroes and things like that, and I sadly can't go into the complete roster at this time.
Yeah,
the ones that you've seen are right now the only ones that I can really talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I got to say the heroes from the previous game feel like completely different. Like you've changed out the abilities, how they feel. So it's not like, oh, here's the same Bob as last game.
Exactly.
He doesn't even have the flamethrower.
He does.
Oh, he does?
But it's just melee this time around.
Oh wait, is that in this build?
Should be.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try that if I get Boba. We'll see if I get Boba or Maul. I should be at 5,000 points after this live.
Yeah, totally agree with you in terms of how much more dynamic and physical the heroes feel. You can do a lot of fun stuff with their abilities, and they're just a lot more dynamic. I was really not happy in Battlefront 1 where, if Luke did his force push on Darth Vader, he would sort of just take damage a little bit.
Oh yeah. The force in this game with force choke with Darth Maul.
Yeah, then if you do a force choke with Darth Maul on Rey, you just toss her into a wall and then she gets up if she survives, and then you take it from there. So it's a lot more like that, and you'll see hero abilities be much more about a little bit more emergent in what you can do. You can, we're not really seeing it in this type of game mode, but if you have a lot of heroes working together, then you can actually chain up your abilities to use, try to take on as well.
Oh yes. Here we go. It is time. Let's see if I can get one of the. Is it possible to control, or are you planning to add a control to how you actually throw someone after a force choke? Because one issue I did, I picked up a clone trooper and then I threw him over the wall, so I couldn't actually finish him off.
You'll be able to sort of move it around. And
okay, really? Oh, that's going to be awesome. One thing I know a lot of people asked about after they saw this gameplay is why, or if Darth Maul is going to be able to block shots. Like personally, I feel like at least how it is right now, you don't really need it because he's so aggressive and fast. But is there a plan to add block to all lightsaber wielders, or just some of them?
Right now, only. So with Darth Maul in particular, if you try blocking just by right-clicking now, he sidesteps instead. We're sort of playing around with that mechanic since it's not necessarily fully get the Star Wars desire to be able to block shots with your lightsabers. We're trying out with Darth Maul is just try to keep him moving. Like he should be. Here you go. That's a good
come on, stroke. Oh, what happened? I think I did a lot of damage. Come on. Oh, okay. I think
they took her out.
Yeah. Thank you, droids, for helping out, because I was kind of in trouble there.
Yeah. So it's more about getting to the type of gameplay that we're after. That's what we're looking at with Maul. We're not ruling out that he'll be able to sort of parry blasters, but we feel right now that he's so mobile, and we want to keep him mobile. So having him be sort of like you would expect from Darth Vader, walking slowly forward while parrying, might sort of remove a little bit of that mobile feel to Darth Maul. whereas other heroes will be able to do that.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, some of them will only be able to parry, like Rey.
Oh, that means that she deflects them, but you can't aim where they're going, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Whereas other more experienced lightsaber wielders will of course be able to deflect it back at the enemy.
Yeah, like, I'd assume that feels like a Vader thing to do.
That totally feels like a Vader thing.
So let's see if we can force choke this guy. I think I got him. Oh wait, let's throw that lightsaber. Oh! Ooh, nice. Oh man, he's so satisfying to run around with.
It's another one. I saw the question about, so in Battlefront 1, lightsabers killed troopers in one slash, and this time it's usually 2, unless you're a specialist. So that it's a little bit of a game balance thing, in that we feel like it got a little too frustrating fighting against a hero with a lightsaber in the previous game, where he would just come in from the shadows and just stab you, and you couldn't really react to it. This time around, you can at least take a hit, ideally combat roll out of danger, and then put up a little bit of a fight. At least react to it. So that's sort of we're doing 2 right now. We think it feels pretty good, but it's just a constant iteration. We're doing quite well.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick them up one by one, because he's not a tank, so if he goes in against too much people, he's gonna die.
Yep.
And the health regeneration is something that I was worried about when I first heard about it, since it feels like it's gonna be a Bosk 2.0.
Yep.
But it's actually not. I haven't noticed, but like the 4 hours I've played so far, I haven't had any issues with that, because you can just pick up one player if you want to be safe, but if you do actually play aggressively, you are gonna die, because you can do a lot of damage to heroes.
Yeah.
Like I think he has 7. Does the health actually scale? So if he has 700 and the heavy has 200, is that actually around 3 times as much?
Yes.
Okay. So that's a very good indicator of how strong the hero actually is.
Yeah, totally. Like Darth Maul, you can totally get a chunk of enemies if you're lucky, or if they're not prepared for you, if they're all crowding a doorway, for example. But just going into a room where there's a squad waiting for you, that's probably going to be bad for you. And I saw even in one of your clips, you were able to just you got a flank and a headshot on Han Solo, and you managed to take him out pretty much on your own as a single droid. So it can happen. It's just
exactly
going one-on-one with Han Solo or Darth Maul, just straight up, we see each other and then we fight. You're probably screwed then, but you can totally get the jump on them and take them out pretty quickly.
Yeah, and even if you do die quickly, the thing is that you can be, like in the current Battlefront game, it's extremely rare that I get to hear it multiple times in one game. Oh wait, oh get out of here! Oh, I died. But yeah, in this game,
Pool shark.
Was it pool shark? Bastard. Yeah, but in this game you can actually get it multiple times if you play well. I mean, obviously, if you play the hero for a long time like I did now, you don't gather up any new points. So now I can show some other.
Assault is pretty good. The interior bit. Someone asked about the spawning and squad system. Like you saw there, you're spawning into with sort of a spawn squad group. I'm not sure if we have a final name for it yet. Where you see them outlined on the map. Their class icons have a different color, and if by staying close to them, your abilities will have faster cooldowns. You'll get additional battle points by working together and staying in the vicinity of anyone from your squad. However, if one of your squad mates die, they're actually out of that squad. They will join a new one at the next spawn. So your squad will just decrease if you die. So it's all about trying to keep groups together, trying to make sure that every time you spawn, you sort of spawn with other people. So that's what, like you can go together, you can communicate a little bit by just pointing out which objective you want to go to and things like that.
I was thinking about adding, what kind of, because I was thinking, you're going to stick to your teammates, hopefully, but is there any type of communication system you're planning to have, whether it's like giving commands or actually a voice chat or just anything to be able to say, hey, let's go here, oh, I need a heal, or I need some,
I totally get the need for it, and I can't really go into specifics right now, but we're aware, and we'll have more info on that too, as well as more info about just in general, if you party up before joining a server, and how can we keep you playing together? We'll have more info on that later on. For EA Play and E3, it's not really necessary because it's mostly just random people teaming up and playing right now. So we sort of focused on that for this demonstration.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I'm usually I want to test out all the new stuff. I don't care so much about my teammates.
They're asking for first-person view.
Oh yeah, sure, I can do that. This is the real droid blaster, right? The one we see in the movie a lot. I don't remember the name of it, to be honest, but it is.
Saw some questions about Rogue One content. There will be more Rogue One content outside of just the Death Trooper, but we'll have more info later. Obviously, Yavin 4 is that Rogue One? Is it New Hope?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's in both.
Yeah, Skirmish. We'll have a lot more info about Skirmish later on. One thing to note is that Skirmish will have more ways of customizing your experience that you want to play. However, it will not be a full-on mirror of multiplayer.
Okay.
The reason is that we simply don't want to, at least not for launch. We'll see. But it doesn't make sense to us that we need to limit the type of multiplayer experience that we want to create based on what we can get the AI to do.
Oh yeah, so we can't make this in Skirmish, then we can't make it in multiplayer.
Exactly.
Okay.
That seems like the wrong way of making multiplayer focused content. But we delivered Skirmish through the live service of Battlefront 1. It was well received by the community, so it was a given that it would return. We think that there are things we can do to improve Skirmish in general, and not just by making it a full-on mirror of multiplayer, because that's based on what we're seeing, how our community is engaging with Skirmish. That's not necessarily what they're after.
Okay.
So we want to get something where this function as a good bridge between the campaign and then preparing for multiplayer, or if it's just I just want to mess around by myself, try something out, try a new weapon that I just unlocked, or try this optimal Darth Maul customization or something like that.
Is the customization just what you mentioned that going to be like the star cards you unlock from multiplayer? You're going to be able to use those in single player or in Skirmish? Okay.
And also. And probably primarily it's co-op. It's for couch co-op. It's for playing split screen, enjoying this game. With father and son, or just two buddies on a couch. It should be that type of game as well.
If you wonder why I'm stretched over all the time, it's because I forgot to set the screensaver timer. So it's
ATRT screensaver.
Yeah, I think it's just taking random images of my PC and showing. So yeah, next game, that's hopefully, what is the time? Yeah, we should at least one more game. I'm gonna aim for Boba Fett this time. I shouldn't just blame the equipment for why I'm playing so bad, but... Oh yeah, anti-cheat, is that... That's a lot of people ask.
It's constantly getting improved.
Okay.
We feel very passionate about anti-cheat in our game. It's never going to be perfect, but it's our ambition to bring it as close to perfect as we can. That's just not just a Battlefront thing. That's a whole DICE studio thing. We learned stuff from Battlefront 1 that we then could incorporate into Battlefield 1, and then we're learning things from Battlefield 1 that we now can incorporate into Battlefront 2. So it's a continuous thing that we will constantly upgrade and work with. They wanted to see some updated rolling mechanics.
I'm going to make sure to roll the next game. Because that's something I noticed. Now the roll is actually to escape and not to roll around so quick that people can't hit you and they shoot.
And you can't fire during rolling either.
Yeah, exactly.
What else? Someone asked about hub contracts. We would love to bring Java back in some way or form. It's not going to be through a contract system exactly like in Battlefront 1, but we all love Java, and we'll see about how we can bring that back.
Yeah, I know you mentioned on the website yesterday that it was, well, you can obviously open boxes and get star cards, but you can also do in-game challenges and quests to get stuff. So I'm assuming that then it's going to be like a specific thing, you need to play this here or whatever. So it's not just play the game, but sometimes you might have a specific task to do.
Yeah, we'll have more info later, but we love Java, and I don't think we can ever make him a villain that you can play, but we definitely want him to be part of the game sometime. Even in slow mode, I can barely keep up.
Yeah, I might be able to make slow mode even slower if it's possible. Oh wait, the game is starting. I'm gonna just take a quick look if it's possible to make it even slower here. Okay, I can't do that here. So I hope it's not too quick. You guys are gonna have to be, don't spam, okay? There's a 30-second timer, but it seems like there's a lot of people watching. Oh, here's the combat roll, by the way. This is how it looks. So as you can see, it's slower than in the previous game, and you can also do it in all directions, right? You can do it backwards. Oh yeah, here the camera is a bit too close. You can see here. So that would, let's see what happens if I try to shoot, and then like perfect. You can't actually roll sideways and just shoot, because that's how it looks at least on PC right now. People just roll sideways and shoot each other.
Yeah, at the same time, even though it's like, how does a B1 Battle Droid manage to roll? It's such a legacy, and it's been part of Battlefront from the beginning. So we felt really strongly that like rolling needs to be a thing. That's what you do when you play Battlefront. So we just make sure that we improved it and made it as good as we can. Nice flank.
Come on. Oh my god, my aim. Oh, I got him. There we go.
So we should talk a little bit about the overheat mechanic, potentially.
Oh, yeah.
So weapons still overheat. However, you can always perform a manual cooling, which...
Yeah, I'll show. Wait, I can do that.
If you'll survive, use the combat shield.
I'm gonna get behind cover here and then use it. Okay, so here we go. Okay, if I shoot, now it goes up, and then if I wait, it actually takes a while for it to go down if I don't do it manually.
Yeah, much longer than previously.
Yeah,
however,
so let's see.
If you go up again and then use your manual cooldown.
And boom, there we go.
Yeah, then you can't fire because it's cooling down. So it's sort of like, I know I referred to, someone asked about reload and then overheat on Twitter at one point, and I said kind of both. So this is like one way of, you can manually cool down your weapon with, and it performs it is very close to just reloading, I guess, because you can trigger it yourself. Let's see if you can.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna just straight shoot up. Okay, so, and then if I press that one.
Yeah, so that was the there's two things that you can get with your cooldown minigame there. The one that you pressed was the safe option, which is, the safest one is just to wait until it cools down entirely. But then you can decide to go with the medium safe option, which is, then it's just, you get it back to normal and you can continue fire.
Let's see if as long as I don't fail. There it should be.
Yeah, if you get the button, then now you can fire as much as you can for a brief period without it overheating at all. So it's just another part of making sure that blaster combat feels deeper, feels like there's a larger skill gap between players, and there are things that you can do to really become quite good at just handling a blaster.
Yeah, and something I can note that I noticed when playing is that, like the specialist, if you use the cooling flush, it goes down really quickly, whereas if you, come on, nice. Whereas if the heavy takes a lot longer to go down. So I'm assuming you're gonna tweak, because that's another thing that makes the blasters feel a lot different to each other.
Yep. Totally.
Oh, I'm actually playing pretty good now. I already have enough points for, I guess I should show Boba this time probably, because I got a lot of Darth Maul last time. And that's another thing.
You can see your squad mate running next to you now.
Oh yeah, there we go.
But that's your final squad mate. All the others have died.
That's an officer, right? If they have a yellow head.
That is an officer.
Yeah, the TV is quite far from us, so that's why it's hard to see.
Yeah. Now you can see it's an officer because he's used the battle command to bring your health up to 250. You're a pretty sturdy heavy right now.
Yeah, 250 health. That's like about a third of what Darth Maul has, actually.
Yeah. Hello. You got the jump. You'll be fine. You've got nothing on you.
Oh, he had the shit. Okay, here we go. Now, like as you can see, I got a lot of points there. 1,400 from that duel alone, which is due to the. And that's the one. I don't know what those are called. Are those mastery card? Those fourth ones? Because those aren't traits. Like they don't build up traits like the previous game, but they're not an ability.
Yeah. So the troopers have 3 star cards that cater to their abilities, and then the fourth one is sort of a passive card that you can then exchange. It's sort of similar to how traits were in the old game, where like the default trait for heavy is defender, which means that if you're taking damage, you actually get battle points. All the things like that might impact your cooldown or impact your run speed or things like that. Just little passive boosts that allow you to tailor each of your class to play a little differently depending on what you're after.
What's he gonna do? Some barrage, come on. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so Boba is definitely gotten an upgrade. Do you mind commenting on how he feels compared to the old game?
Yeah, sure. I would say he plays very differently because you can't. The one thing I noticed in the old game was much about getting up high, spam your rocket, just get one shots. Whereas in this game, I feel like he's more focused around his blaster and using, like, for example, the scamples that I'm using right now to get an advantage over, see where they are. Because the rocket I'm shooting right now it's a concussion rocket, right?
Yep.
So it like flashes them and disorientates them.
It's really good if you're up against heroes in general, but it's good against everyone.
And then the barrage, of course. Oh, there we go. Which it is good, but it doesn't do absurd amounts of damage. So if you do it in a heavy, you usually don't kill them from full health.
Yep.
And that's one thing I love so far about the class system. That
use melee.
Oh, what? Oh, it's.
It's not. Sorry.
Okay.
The flamethrower. No, the flamethrower will be on Boba Fett's melee, but.
Okay, cool.
It wasn't working for this build.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing. I'm sorry. Sorry.
No, but we know it's coming. That's the more important thing. I mean, this is pre-alpha.
Obviously, he should be able to use his flamethrower.
Well, you gotta be careful. I heard that if you walk into this thing, you might die. So, or if you get run over by it. Yeah, I heard about someone who, I think Darth Maul force choked Rey and threw her into the MTT, so she died.
There you go.
That's a pretty good tactic.
Yep, that will work.
Let's see if we can find anyone to kill now. I'm still top of the team. Good. Oh, okay, let's do the barrage. I've noticed that as soon as you go up in the air, it's so much harder for them to hit you. So I always do that, even if it's harder for me to hit as well. Oh, there's Maul as well. Maul on Boba. And the scan pulse is only for me, right? It's not for the team.
Correct.
Yeah. And that's something that you did a lot of work on how the scan pulse actually looks, because Rey has the, I don't know what the ability is called, but she has an ability that basically gives her scan pulse, but that's completely, it looks more like Forcey, I guess you could say, because it's blue, whereas this is more like a technical scan pulse.
Yep. You can see him touching his forehead and everything, like he does something with his helmet. Boba Fett is just, that's the best part of doing Boba Fett, is that you can pretty much just give him a new set of abilities and they still make sense because he's got so many gadgets.
Yeah, I guess that's the good thing about bounty hunters in general.
Yeah,
they are
so much stuff.
Yeah, one thing, other like more generic question I guess I could answer that a lot of people said about the gunplay in general, if it's more based on movement now and not just, and that you actually got to aim, and I guess it was a pretty hard question to explain, but I guess you could just say that in this game you actually get more accuracy for aiming in and scoping in, which means that it's worth doing that instead of just running around hip firing all the time. And I don't know, I haven't noticed that too much myself, but I guess you can clarify a bit. That's all the things like crouching, standing still, aiming down the sides, all of those increases how accurate your blaster is going to be.
Totally, yeah.
Because running around and sniping was not a good idea. It was not like running around with a pulse cannon and just one bang people, which was good. Let's see.
Now they're blowing up the palace door.
So yeah, and I guess I mentioned that in the video as well, but you can't stop the MTT in this version. because it's supposed to go all the way. It wouldn't be that fun if you queued the entire line and then you lose the first phase.
Exactly. Yeah, for the sake of the demo, even though they took down the MPD to 0 health, we just good on you. You get some battle points for your trouble, but here we're gonna just move on to the next phase. Just to make sure that everyone gets to the throne room, gets to experience the whole map.
What am I? Oh no! If that's Muselk, I knew it. I knew it was Muselk. He's camping those starfighters for like the 2 days straight now. I'm gonna go for the. Oh wait, the AAT. That's not available here. Yeah, I'm gonna go for this battle droid now. And a lot of people asked, any chance you will add watch those wrist rockets? That line?
Yeah, definitely we want to. We'll see. It's too detailed for me to answer if they're actually in or not. I will double check.
Okay.
But I totally want it to be.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of memes about that if that makes it in.
Yes.
Oh no! Yeah, look at my beautiful screensaver there with Finn and Phasma. So are the special troopers all gonna have? You said like the heroes and the classes have 3 abilities, but the special ones have 2, which at the moment feels fine because the blaster is so powerful. But is that the full plan for the game, or is it just that you haven't implemented the 3rd ability?
We'll see.
Okay.
Like you say, I think 2 abilities feel fine. I don't want to rule anything out at this point.
Yeah, that's the good thing of showing off the game so early. You have a lot of time to adjust based on feedback.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing about the health regeneration is also like the blaster cooling cell regeneration that is very different between different characters. Like the specialist is pretty quick, I've noticed, whereas battle droid is really slow.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because otherwise you're just gonna wreck face even more.
Oh yeah, totally. So now you're approaching the final stage, which is when the droids storm into the throne room and try to take it from the comms. So you'll see the doors slowly open. I think that a B1 can squeeze through exactly when it opens up. You might have to wait, and then you get flanked.
What? Wait, what? I'm inside the temple and he shot me.
I think you managed to shoot.
Oh wow,
Pretty good.
Can you like ban him from the game?
Ban him from playing a starfighter?
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
no one out there, Music. Why are you still flying?
Let's try the officer a little bit. I haven't used him much. That's one thing I was a little bit unsure about when I made my video, because I think, if I understand correctly, Han Solo's charge, that one is proximity based, whereas the officer's one you got trigger manually. Is that right?
Sorry, come again?
Like this thing you drop down. I know you can trigger that manually here with the officer, and I know Han Solo has one.
Yeah.
Is the difference that Han Solo's is proximity based and this one is manual?
I think you can trigger them for both.
Oh, okay.
Both of them. Han Solo throws his one much further than the officer does, and I'm sure there are some other minor differences to it too. But sort of gameplay-wise, they are similar. They are detonation charges.
Oh, and that's another thing. I can right now you can see the number. Wait, let's use that. Oh, that was a lot. Yeah, there was 7 people around me. Because it took a while. I didn't realize it, but what's that number down there? But that's like how much people you will actually buff if you use the ability at a given point.
Right. So if 8 people on the throne room capturing it, and now comes Rey, can you turn a tie?
Yeah, that shows pretty clearly that you should not. Hero versus 10 people. Yeah, that's not a good idea.
It's not going to work, especially with several supers in there too. That's not going to work. Clankers in the throne room.
Indeed. Let's see if wait, I'm gonna be a little cheeky here and just drop it. Oh, we won. Nice.
You got it.
Yeah, we lost the last game, so it seems to be fairly well balanced considering we won 1 game each.
Jack frags.
He's streaming in the booth behind us here. Let's see. Do we have time for another game, or we can just see if I'm? Oh, the chat is going so quickly right now. So.
I feel like we've tried to answer most things. Some things we'll have a lot more info about later. This time around, we're showing Galactic Assault, and we'll have more info about Starfighter Assault and space battles in general further on.
Yeah. Could you slide the laptop over here so I can see a little bit as well? There we go.
Right, so.
Let's see. Yeah, because we're gonna end the stream fairly soon, but we can have a couple of more minutes to emotes. Yeah, emotes they weren't in this build, but I know you had some pre-order thing. Yeah.
Yeah. You will be able to emote even as heroes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is hard to read.
So much.
Yeah, we've already talked about.
We've gotten the stuff from Reddit at least. Now we're getting.
Oh, the flying, how that's different. Yeah, we actually, if we have time, I'm gonna get the ship as soon as I can.
Cool. We should be able to.
Because it has changed. It is a lot more. I would say like the old Battlefront games. You actually gotta manually aim your main blaster, but then you can lock on your missiles instead, which is pretty tricky, which is good.
Yeah, but yeah, you can manually roll your starfighter. I know that was a big request from players. They wanted to see that. In general, we've done a lot of work, especially Criterion, on the handling of starfighters and just making sure that they feel really good. Because we were blown away by the reception of Fighter Squadron. That's one game mode that we've done flying modes only for Battlefield for some time, and they were always very niched and not very popular. So we were afraid that Fighter Squadron would face a similar fate for Battlefront 1, but that was certainly not the case. It kept being, it was a top performer. It still is. Yeah, not as popular as Walker Assault and Heroes vs. Villains, but still, a very popular mode. So we know there's a large demand to be able to just fly, a starfighter and keep flying.
Let's see, if I click here, someone sent a super chat. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, I mean, there were more than 4 heroes, if that's what he's asking.
Yeah, we add more heroes to the loadout to choose from the whole game. Oh, you mean like for each era we'll be able to spawn in?
I'm not sure really what he means with that question.
There will be more heroes you can play than the ones we're playing right now. And you will be able to play with more than just 2 active heroes at any point too.
Okay, on each team.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have any idea about the cap? Like, so to make sure it's not like 50% heroes and.
It will probably never be 50% heroes, no. At least not in Galactic Assault. But there will be more than 2 on either side.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like that's in the old game that would be so annoying, but here it's fine because they die pretty quickly if you aren't careful.
The Bacta bomb is not returning in the way that it was in Battlefront 1.
Okay. I guess this is like the battle command is a Bacta bomb you throw up from your body, I guess you could say. Oh, well, it's not a Bacta bomb, but it has a healing effect. There we go, vulture droid.
It's not. It doesn't have a healing effect necessarily. It has a health bonus effect in that. Even if you're down, if you're at 30 health and someone does a battle command, it will just give you 50 additional health, no matter what.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't trigger the quick regeneration for. Okay. Yeah. So now I'm going to show you guys some flying here. I am not. Oh wait. One thing I noticed is that is not in from the last game, which was pretty good, that if you crash into someone, you bump off them, which right now you die instantly. You gotta be careful.
We're getting vehicle collisions worked on right now. Since we sort of redid the systems from scratch, a lot of things had to take a while to get.
Yeah, so I guess that's the plan, to at least have.
Yeah, the changes we made to the Starfighter combat on the Death Star DLC, we'll try to bring as many of those over as possible.
Whoa. I don't know what I'm doing there. Let's see, are people still playing? It's a lot of. I think the capture session is over now, so I'm mostly just playing against a few people right now. Let's see if I can do some. Wait, yeah, another thing people want to know: you can do manual rolling like this in this game, which is pretty cool. Oh wait, no.
You can also go out of combat.
What?
You can also go out of combat.
Yeah, and now there we go. Let's see if I can. Oh wait, let's go full speed. Oh no, I'm gonna crash. I'm gonna crash. No! Oh, I made it. Yeah, flying has never been. Oh, guess that Miss Muselk, of course. Yeah, flying has never been my strong side.
You got you.
But as you can see there, you get battle points for actually flying. Same thing as with the heroes. I mean, not the heroes. Same thing as other special characters.
For Galactic Assault, it's going to be unique for each planet. Sort of what you do, what the objectives are. It will still be attack, defend. That's just the way Star Wars is built up, in that one team usually is the owner of a planet and they're the ones attacking.
Yeah.
Or the ones being attacked. And we'll do, obviously the MTT would not be the objective if you're playing on Hoth.
No, that wouldn't be.
Exactly.
So what's your favorite class then to play?
My favorite class?
Yeah.
I've been running the Assault for the longest time. I'm a big Vanguard player.
Oh yeah.
Probably to the point where my design team ended up nerfing the Vanguard because I was wrecking face with the Vanguard for the longest time. Yeah.
It's like a chained scatter gun, but that doesn't one-shot.
Exactly. So that's still my one I usually roll with, although the heavy is growing on me quite quick.
Let's see if I can get. Oh, we already talked about it. Well, let's see if I. Yeah, like you can see here, this is the only class that can do that have double explosives, I guess you could say. And that's something I haven't talked in my videos yet about, but I guess you could briefly go over the setup right now, where the class has 2 unique abilities, but then the third one is, at least now, shared between all the classes.
A little bit like that, yeah.
Let's try this.
Yeah, so troopers are much more like an open canvas, in that you can swap out a lot of the abilities with other abilities, whereas heroes and vehicles have a very set type of abilities.
Yeah.
You can't really make, Luke Skywalker do something that you can't have him do a force show, for example. So he will have his iconic abilities, but then you can still upgrade them or customize the effects of them.
Yeah, I think let's take like 1 or 2 final questions, and then I think we are done, because the server is emptying out now, and I feel like we covered a lot of questions. I tried to.
There's a clone.
Let's see if I-
Jump trooper. Shoot him in the air.
Hit him! Oh, yeah, I got him. I think so.
No.
I got the sound, like beep sound.
Maybe.
I notice sometimes it doesn't show up that name thing. It might be depending on what you kill him with. But that's something I haven't talked about either. But I'm gonna make like a video of my favorite things in the game, and that's the kill sound. It's so satisfying, just bling bling every time you kill someone. And if you go and get a kill streak, you hear a lot of those dings every time.
We've already talked about the droidica. Stop asking.
Yeah, just scroll back in the stream. It's gonna be on my channel afterwards.
You can still switch shoulders.
Oh, I saw the question about the. Yeah, I guess the Battlefront 2 requirements. I'm guessing it's probably too early to say anything about.
Far too early, yeah.
Yeah, but personally, I would just say that it's. I mean, the graphics were already so good in the last games that I can't see it being too much higher. Like, oh, you gotta buy it super expensive. They've always been pretty well optimized. I mean, I can play it on my laptop without a problem. So.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
So. Thank you very much for joining me.
Of course.
I hope
fun.
I hope people got the answers they wanted, and of course there's something we can't talk about right now. So thank you guys very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.